It's time for News You Need. News You Need is a look at current events and how they affect the college community and beyond. And now here's the host of News You Need, Dr. Ed Simpson.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to yet another exciting edition of News You Need. This is the show where we talk to the best human beings in the whole world, which is our USM students, and we have another great group today for you. But first, why are we here? Well, this is the show where we talk about what's in the news and what our USM students think about it. And of course, the reason we care is that as we are all citizens on this little blue marble rocketing through space, there are certain issues that confront us as citizens, as voters, as members of community. And the best way to know what those issues are and the best way to confront them is to read the news and understand what's going on in the world and how we might want to react to them as citizens. So that's why we're here. So let's get us kicked off, if you would. Introduce yourselves. Give us your name, your major, maybe your hometown, and the student group that you're with.
Hey y'all, my name is Hassan Bukhari and I'm here with the Student Poets Association, my major being computer science, and I'm here to just represent just students on campus, yeah.
My name is Morgan Ferguson. I'm a junior here. I'm studying interdisciplinary studies, and my focus is disability studies. So if you're not familiar with interdisciplinary studies, my major is made up of classes from other majors that kind of relate, so like sociology, psychology, that sort of sense. I lived in Hattiesburg for about 6 years now. I've moved here from Hawaii, kind of moved all over.
Really?
Yeah.
Hawaii? Are you a military person?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
gotcha,
military
gotcha,
kid.
okay.
And I am here with the Aspiring Special Educators Network, or ASPEN.
Aspiring special educators. Okay, well, I want to talk about, so Lily, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Lily Burgard. I'm a co-producer on News You Need, and I'm a digital journalism major.
Yes, excellent. Are you a member of student group? You're
Not
not yet, right?
No,
we're gonna
not-
we're gonna
not
get
yet.
you jumped in there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm looking at different ones. I like to go to different meetings like the Artist Guild and the Student Poets Association.
There you go. We got
Yeah,
that. Okay,
there
so
we
that's exciting. So so the poets. What's the name of the group?
The Student Poets Association.
And what is that?
So the Student Poets Association is kind of an offshoot, and it started because we needed to represent poets on campus. Not only to represent the poetry, which we normally do not portray as like a collective group, but we focus more on the individuality of poets on campus because there's so many different styles of poetry on campus.
Yeah.
It's genuinely one of the more diverse campuses that I've seen that really love to write. And I kid you not, they will shatter you with every line that they say.
Really? Okay. So now I know some of my previous students were deep into spoken word.
Yes.
So is that a thing
Yes.
for us?
We love spoken word. Almost all of our general body meetings turns into open mic some days.
There you go.
Yeah.
And how many students are involved in this?
So currently we have like 30, 40 members.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so what's coming up for you guys? What's next?
Well, we have our open mic on April 24th in collaboration with the Creative Writing Club and the USM Libraries.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so while I'm thinking about it, have you guys looked at the SM2 Got Talent?
Yes.
Oh, you got some folks that are trying out for that?
I think they are currently, but we just need to get like a better hold of the students who really want to. Some people really like presenting, but not in front of audiences. That's just normal poets for you.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that's just what we're gonna be focusing on, I believe, in our next general body meeting.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so the group, tell me again,
The Aspiring Special Educators Network,
Excellent,
which is called
and-
ASPEN.
and what do you all do?
So ASPEN was created because USM decided to take away special education as a major. It's still offered as a minor. Our president, Madison Hill, she's one of the last special education actual majors. So they kind of just wanted to bring awareness to the fact that USM was just removing that, which is a really necessary field to have. But also just wanted to connect those that were still in special education or minors, or maybe like related majors who want to do it, like somebody who wants to be a school nurse or speech pathologist. But also some other things we do is we want to create awareness for special education and disability. And we also partner with the Rise to the Top program. If you don't know what that is, it's a USM program that officially became official this year. It was a pilot program for a while. I was in one of the pilot classes, but it allows adults with intellectual disabilities to experience college life. They get to go to classes, they get to come to our events, other events on campus. So we have an event with them every month, and we also have an Aspen event. So a couple weeks ago, we had our unwind night with Aspen. We did like coloring pages and puzzles, and then with Rise, we're going to the zoo Sunday. Hopefully,
Wow.
the weather's looking a little rough, but we're going to keep it updated. Hopefully, it'll work out. It's going to be a zoo sensory day. I don't know if y'all have seen this on social media, but the first Sunday of every month this year, they're doing a sensory day. So like it'll be like less music, less loud noises. They'll have sensory bags with like headphones and stuff. So that'll hopefully still be there Sunday.
That's
that
so
we can
cool.
go
I
to.
hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, it's really cool. They started to just do it in the summer, but it did so well that it's a thing every first Sunday of the month this whole year.
That's awesome.
That is very cool.
cool.
You guys
Yeah.
are very active.
Yeah, we try to be, it's a really important field, especially with everything.
I'm
else
not
going
sure
on.
I knew that USM did away with the major. So
Yeah.
if I want to be a special education teacher, you don't do that here.
No, not really. You
Okay.
can minor in special education. You could minor in just education and do a minor of special education, but as a whole, it was taken away, which a lot of people don't know that even happened.
Well, I wonder how many. Well, the only reason they would take it away is if there weren't that many students in it. Do we? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that's interesting because that is one of the highest needs in public education, right?
Yeah.
Along with math and science. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know explicitly why they're taken away, if it was because there was a high enough amount. But I feel like, and just me personally, it's such an important field that even if not a lot of people are taking it, it should just still be allowed to be there because it's so
Well, yeah,
crucial.
even if you have 10
100%.
students, that's 10 more the state
Yeah, that's
needs,
10 more teachers
right?
that we need.
Yeah, interesting. Well, there that so let me ask you this. We'll kind of broaden it out a little bit. What are our USM students thinking about? What's news to our USM students this week?
I've had a lot of people laughing about Elon Musk. I just feel like Elon Musk has been obviously he's been very relevant since January, but I feel like recently he's had a lot of stuff that's really embarrassing. Funding $25 million to get someone elected and then them not getting elected.
Well,
It's just
so that was a big headline this week, right? So you guys, so are USM students following Elon Musk? Interesting. And are you doing it through memes on
a lot
TikTok?
of
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
it. Instagram, all the things.
All the things. Okay. Well, interesting. So what folks are referring to is that Elon Musk, weirdly in many people's minds, got involved in a Wisconsin State Supreme Court justice race. And basically, he said, and he came out and said this during the campaign. He said this race will decide the fate of the world. And it was about, there was a very conservative candidate and there was a more progressive candidate. And he, of course, endorsed a very conservative candidate. The conservative candidate lost relatively soundly. And so now and of course, Elon Musk pumped in somewhere around $25 million into the campaign. So a lot of people go and look, people are rejecting Elon. Is that what our students are thinking?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like we've
1000%.
been rejecting him for a while.
I don't trust anyone who
Yeah.
drives a Tesla or a Cybertruck.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I understand that they're energy efficient, and I do
Oh,
appreciate
well,
that. Like I
I'm
can
not sure they are, actually.
Yeah, but it's just like that's the idea behind them. I think people have good intentions, but like I feel like no.
Interesting.
that is
There's other
true.
cars you can get.
Well,
that
we're going to take a break and we'll pick up with Elon and some other headlines after the break.
Southern Miss Radio and T-Bone's Records and Cafe team up to bring you the Pick of the Litter. That's a new CD that we both think is significant and worthy of support.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
When you purchase the Pick of the Litter at T-Bone's Records and Cafe, you are not only getting a great CD at a discount, but part of your purchase price goes to WUSM. Support your community radio station and partake in great music at the same time.
Oh, gnarly!
The Pick of the Litter is Panda Bear and the new album Sinister Grift, featuring the song Praise.
And so we do another dance. I'll make it up with you. I'm moving and I'm watching how you do.
Southern Miss Radio, T-Bone's Records and Cafe, pick of the litter. Great music at a discount to help Southern Miss Radio.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Okay, and we are back, and actually, so we were just mentioning right before we came back that there's a connection between special ed and Elon. Talk to me about that. What are you thinking?
I feel like for me, a lot of things are being taken away. One of my English professors yesterday was even just telling me, like, funding for libraries was taken away late Wednesday night. So I think kind of along with that, especially with the, being removed resources for healthcare, that affects people with disabilities, people who have in-care caretakers. So there's a huge, they don't seem like they can be connected, but they get intertwined along the way.
Yeah. So what you're referencing is Elon is in charge of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and they are continuing to make some relatively deep cuts into the federal government workforce. And the Department of Education, of course, is now on the block, along with Department of Health and Human Resources, all that kind of stuff. So, I think the connection between Musk and his personality and what he's doing and all that other stuff is certainly there with how we live our daily lives. So it feels like our USM students are engaged in that. How are our poets thinking?
Our poets are thinking we're writing poetry on whatever's going on. No, it's been a really crazy time, because there's also funding's not only being cut from education, just from research, and other than medical research, which is like one of our most important parts of just evolving as humans. And our poets are really frustrated. That's how I'm going to put it.
So that's really, I love that, actually. So are you guys writing poetry about what you see in the headlines?
Yes. So there's been a recent shift of people writing poetry. A semester ago, people would usually write about love poems or just something that's so personal to them. But being a poet, it's kind of shifted, because there's a lot going on right now, and you can't help but spend your days focusing and really ruminating on the fact that there's some serious problems that are going on, and that's like 90% of what I write poetry about.
Okay, that's great. I think that'd be a great story if anybody in our student media is listening. I think that would be a great story to ask you guys what you're writing about. So this actually comes up pretty much every week. It has since the election of Donald Trump. But there is a particularly interesting or disturbing headline, I guess, depending on how you look at it. So the Mississippi legislature has finally passed its anti-DEI bill.
Yes, I saw that.
Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So how are our students feeling about that?
Not positive.
Grim?
Yeah.
Grim?
Yeah.
I know for a lot of people, a lot of majors like humanities, they're feeling really kind of hopeless, because they're wondering if their, careers are kind of be important or even exist. I think a lot of people don't realize how important DEI is. I took a DEI class last semester, and, I don't think people realize how much it positively influences not even just work, but things in general, until it's officially gone and removed. Equity is just so important, and I think a lot of people don't know the difference between equality and equity.
Yes.
But DEI as a whole is so important. That being removed just really shows how much they feel like they don't care about us and what we're going through.
Yeah.
Now, DEI is really important, of course, but there's been a huge upcharge in the amount of people who are going against it, because there's been a misconception on what DEI really is.
Yep.
It's not going against a particular group or marginalizing one group and then looking forward for another group. It's actually equity, which is for all groups and inclusion of everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's what a lot of folks that I've talked to have pointed out, is that the strange kind of false equation of DEI with affirmative action. Saying that DEI somehow favors those in the minority is a fundamental misunderstanding of what DEI is, right? So we're all nodding in here, but what are our USM? So our USM students are thinking what? That this is going to affect me because I'm a member of a minority group, or is it because it affects my friends, or because it affects the society I live in? What?
All of the above.
Yes.
To be honest. I mean, DEI also involves it's as simple a minority as just women, you know, and it's just like everyone loses their rights except for like one tiny sector of people that are mad that other people can't even have that equality. There's just a group of people that I've talked about this on the show before that want to keep what they've had for a long time, and they feel like they're getting knocked off, like people might actually get to their level soon enough, and it's like, this cannot stand, it can't happen. And I think everyone is just really scared. It finally felt like we were getting somewhere, and then it all got ripped away really fast.
I think the speed is what's got a lot of people, you know, so just think about this. This is April. In December, DEI was still a thing, right? We were doing, you know, we were talking about it. We were figuring out how to make it happen, all that kind of stuff. Well, then like a light switch.
Yes.
It's, you know, anti-DEI. It's just a little interesting. I mean, it's more than interesting. It's crazy.
It's desensitizing, too.
Yeah.
The
Very
speed
much
of
so.
everything, and there's the constant everything happening every single day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of which, let me make it things just a slightly bit darker here. So yesterday, or was it Tuesday? Whatever, April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs. You're the president, Donald Trump, imposed reciprocal tariffs. So what this means is, and it's a really you have to get into the weeds a little bit, but basically it's about a 50% tax on everything, all the goods coming into the country, basically. And so you saw the stock. So do our USM students follow this issue, and do you all care? And what might you care about?
I follow the tariffs very loosely, but I am so bad with numbers, so I don't think I fully grasp what it means. They'll be like, "That's a 50% tax," and I'm like,
okay, so
Yeah, so. I feel like for me, like, I hear about it really regularly, but like, it's hard to imagine what it actually looks like. I think sometimes, like, I hear about it, I feel like almost every day. My friends talk about it, my coworkers talk about it.
Interesting.
But like, it's hard to think about like what that actually looks like. Like, oh, this is what this is gonna look like, you know?
No, yeah. Yesterday I just got the news of. I mean, I'm from Pakistan, so some of my friends were telling me how there's like a 126% upcharge on whatever you're getting from abroad, and it's more so not affecting the economy. I mean, of course it is, but affecting the relations that the two countries have, and it's basically making people grow distant of each other.
Yeah.
That's a really poetic angle on that, I think, and we're starting to see that, actually, that as countries push back on this, they are saying that we thought we were friends, why can't we talk about that, all that kind of stuff. But I think tariffs are really super important, right? So the concept of tariffs is basically a tax. So, Lily, what's the last thing you purchased on Amazon or Temu?
I've never used Temu in my life, but I
Really?
did just get. No, I never.
Interesting.
It scares me. I've used Shein one time, and I've never used AliExpress. I'm really scared of them.
Okay.
Because I'm scared my card information is going to get stolen. I think that's really, I'm like, this is not real. This cannot be this cheap. That's not real. They're going to take something from me. Anyhow, that's not important. The last thing I bought from Amazon was a matcha whisk set.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's like a bamboo whisk for me to make.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, so how much did you pay?
$15.
Wow. Okay, so $15 for, in this, I think I know what's in it. So the odds are that the Amazon vendor that you purchased that from imported that set from either Thailand or China, likely one of those two places. So what Trump has said is that, okay, that $15 will now be $19. Now multiply that by everything you buy that is imported, right? So this is what they're talking about. So like on a price of a car, for instance, price of a new car, most people are estimating that the tariffs alone will cost at least an additional $4,000 for the lower models, up to $15,000 for the higher end models. So this is what we're talking about. So a direct tax on everything that you buy, but then there are also the ramifications, right? So if I'm sorry, give me your name. Hassan, sorry. So Hassan, if those whisk things, what are they? Matcha whisks rise to $19. What are the odds of you buying a new set of matcha whisks?
Very slim.
Yeah.
Very slim. I just use the fork.
Exactly, right? So that's the ripple effect that everybody's talking about, is that as you raise taxes, what you're doing is you're forcing folks to buy less and make different decisions, which in turn sends the economy down. So that's what everybody's talking about. Do our USM students follow the stock market at all?
No.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know anybody.
I'm going to
that
learn.
does.
I'm going to invest.
I am enrolled in an economics course.
Oh, there you go.
But I
Are
don't
you
know-
guys talking about it in economics?
Yes,
Okay.
it's falling.
It's falling dramatically. I will tell you, people who look like me, we follow it pretty closely because our retirement is connected to it. So I've lost about 18% in the last 4 months. Well, I'm with almost everybody else.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That
It's
is
a
very
huge
lot.
amount. It's basically another 3 or 4 years of working unless the stock market comes back, right? Now, if you look at the headlines, the Trump administration is saying, "Oh, this is temporary pain. You know, the market's going to come back." If you look at history, that's not so. So, but our USM students are not following the market per se, unless it's in class.
They are.
Yes.
We probably have a group that are.
Yeah.
There's got to be
I'm not
somebody.
following.
Are your parents mentioning it to you? Are your parents talking to you about money?
My dad is he's a lawyer and he's a political science major.
Oh,
and
there
so
you go.
he's like, "Have you heard? Have you heard?" And so, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't know what it means,
I
but
don't know
I've
what it
heard.
means, but I've heard about it.
I mean, honestly, the main person I do is my brother. Ironically, I don't know why, but he's like really into it. Be like, "Have you seen the stocks recently?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." And I'm like, "Can I go on this long thing?" And he'll be like, "You need to invest in this." And I'm like, "I don't even know what we're talking about, but I'm glad you know what you're talking about."
Yeah. Well, I'm a big kook about it. I talk to my own kids all the time about it. You really should be invested.
Yes.
But these times are scary. You know, the other way of looking at it is that perhaps 2 years from now, it might be a great time to buy in. That's the other flip side of what's going on right now. But yeah, so this is ongoing stuff we talk about, right? So we're going to take a break, and we're going to pick up with our final segment and some final headlines on the other side.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Put a frog in boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As veterans, we tell ourselves the lie that we can handle anything. We let the water boil. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Take the screw in the light bulb.
Okay, we are back, and we're having a headphone incident fixing thing going on, but I think it's all right. We've asked actually Hassan to give us a sample of the poetry, which I think would be very cool. But while he's looking one up, have you guys, are you ready? Oh, let's do it. Give it, lay it on us.
So the title of the poem is Water Damage. I'll start reading it. Is my face covered in bruises, or does my eye color resemble deer's? Maybe it's the gun that I'm carrying, or does my tongue threaten your courtiers? Now I'm a paid agitator in pursuit of a degree. I get my money in advance so I can spread terror. It is my birthright to drown in your convenient labels, not the refuge I seek from my portrait in your skewed fables. I stand my ground and take aim, the civilians lined up at the eye of my barrel, and then I shoot. Rippling through the air, a string of water droplets. They splotch on the paper and turn the ink muddy. The ink says I'm evil, but wait, it's smudged. That doesn't matter, that's who you are, so let the water wash away every word. Let it wash away who I am, and take away from me my right to speak. Amidst the water balloon fight, I step on something soft, picking up a booklet as water drips down its sides, and when I open it, I stare back at myself, in shambles, no semblance of approval. My passport exists to occupy space, for travel is a luxury, stripped from beggars like me. I swear the fire calls my name. Should I run into it or wait? Wait for my voice to recover or ask for help? I need your help.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
And powerful.
Thank
right?
you.
I mean, that's why we write poetry. Good job. Well done. Got goose chills. I think that's great. So there you go. And, you know, the idea of obviously talking about your experience as an international student, right? So, yeah, check out the Poets Club, not Poets Society, but Poets Association.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. Check that out. Well, let me throw another headline at you. Something, I mean, it's still kind of dark, but it's on a totally different topic. Russell Brand.
Oh, I just heard about this morning.
What did you hear?
In the UK, he got charged with sexual assault and rape from
Correct.
between the years of 95 to 2005 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I quite honestly, I didn't care enough to actually read the story. I just took
He's
the
just
headline.
such-
I thought, but I thought our students might care. Do you guys care? Have you heard? Do you know who Russell Brand is?
I care, like,
I
that's
did
terrible,
not
but
know
I don't
that,
care for
but
Russell
now I
Brand
know.
enough to be like, oh, God, I thought Russell was an awesome guy.
Oh, no.
It's like,
The name sounds familiar, but I can't.
It's a
off the top of my
comedian.
head.
Yeah, that's all
Now
I
I
know.
care.
Yeah. Okay, well they're looking at me. Okay, so let me throw out one from our Student Media Center, which has been doing a super job this semester, by the way. If you haven't checked them out recently, make sure you do. They've been really covering the campus in a way that has been really good, I think. So here's one of their headlines. USM crosswalk safety concerns raised. Some students at the University of Southern Mississippi have been struck by vehicles.
yes, right in front of
Yeah.
where I live. I live
Yeah.
in Century Park North.
Same.
People said that they saw this girl fly in the air
Yeah.
after this guy hit her. And I saw him talking to the cops after he hit her. He was just cool as a cucumber. I just can't imagine if I had hit someone with
Oh
my
my
car.
God.
Yeah, I'd be
Being
freaking
like,
out.
Flogging.
So have you guys been talking about this?
Yes.
USM students been talking about this?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know a lot of the details, but I feel like I've just been hearing a lot of people kind of talk about it in like casual conversation, being like, "Have you seen this?"
Yeah.
It's been a problem. Like,
Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
I cross that every day, they don't stop.
They really
They will
don't.
literally. Yesterday, I was crossing and someone goes. I'm right here. The car drives in front of me and just avoids eye contact
Yes.
to just pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like they'll literally be like,
Yeah.
and it's so embarrassing. It's like you can't just look before you.
Yeah,
you
well, I
should've
think
hit
that the police have responded in some fashion, but I'm not quite sure what. Has anybody heard?
I have.
Yeah, but you're not seeing any improvement.
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
Not right
not
now.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I've
just,
seen more cops patrolling the CPN parking lot than working on the
Interesting. Yeah.
crosswalk.
Okay. Well, it's hard to believe, but as usual, we are out of time. In fact, we're probably over a few seconds, so thank you, Kylie, for letting us blather on just a bit. What a great discussion. We had poetry today, politics and economics and everything. So what a great show. If you missed NYN, you miss a lot. So this has been a production of Southern Miss Student Media. Our engineer is Kylie Keenan. Thank you, Kylie. Our videographer is Isabel Michaud. Thank you, Isabel. And our producers are Lily Burgard and Annabelle Laird. Thank you all for all your work. And we will be back next week.
This has been News You Need with Dr. Ed Simpson. News You Need airs Friday afternoon at 12:30 on Southern Miss Radio.